Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
I'm Michael Burke, and this is Money Talks. Hi, welcome to Money Talks. I have a really fun guest today, Nehemiah Peterson of Burlington, junior at the Burlington Area High School, right? That's still the name of it?
Yeah.
And he is a yo-yo phenom, which we will prove early on. And believe it or not, this is a show that does have something to do with money, because we're going to be talking about your sponsorship and professional possibilities and even the company you have started. Right at the outset here, I want to just I'd like you to give people some idea of the kind of stuff you can do. So why don't you just show them something so they know, like, this isn't going to be up and down and out and back.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sure.
I would have done that, except I'm holding these little cue cards here. So you are the state national champion, I believe, 2 years in a row?
I'm the state champion. Yeah, 2 years in a row.
You are or aren't?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right.
2 years.
Because you just recently won in Burlington, right?
Yeah.
And then you actually went to the Nationals. You've been to the Nationals at least a couple times, right?
I've been to Nationals twice, yeah.
How did you do this last time?
This year I took 13th in 1A preliminary round and 10th in a different division that I competed in, so.
And yeah, of course, and that's nationally, and that's generally against people, you're not even quite 17 yet, and this is generally against people in their 20s who've been doing this for years and years.
Yeah, generally the professionals and most competitors are in their early 20s. Some of them are late teens, but it's generally early 20s, and the people who qualified, you had to take top 5 at the 9 regionals in the country, so you couldn't just sign up for this one. It had to be qualified. So.
Gotcha, yeah, have to earn your way in. Mm-hmm. You explained to me, I don't know, a month or so ago, and I did a story about this, that today's yo-yos run in is the wrong word, but utilize ball bearings to make them spin.
Yeah.
When did that come to be? And you want to just sort of show what we're talking about there?
So yeah, I'm not exactly sure when, like, the year or anything, but I don't know, in the past few decades, basically, the older yo-yos, like the butterfly and stuff, used ball bearings, but they weren't as, like, advanced as these. These are a little bigger, they spin for a lot longer, spins for around 1 to 2 minutes, so, yeah, that's
so it gives you that long to just do what you can do.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. How did you get started in this?
When I was in 5th grade, there was a guy who came to our school and did a just little yo-yo demonstration.
Like in the gymnasium or something?
Yeah. He did the basics, like walk the dog, rock the baby, stuff like that, and he...
Which right now for you would be laughingly
primitive,
right?
Yeah, it's stuff that I learned, like, right away, but I thought it was awesome, so did everybody else in the school. And so everybody bought yo-yos and started doing it for like 2 weeks, and then the school year was over, and I kept doing it. Most people stopped. For the next year or so, I was on and off with it. And then my 7th grade summer, we, as a family trip, went to California, and my parents asked each of the kids, me, my brother, and my sister, where we wanted to go, and I had heard of a National Yo-Yo Museum in Chico, California. So that was my request. We ended up going there, and Thad Winzens, the guy who runs it, actually showed me what professional yo-yoing is, and I just thought it was really cool, so I started doing it.
That was sort of a realization moment for you, huh?
Yeah.
That there was something way up there that you could shoot for?
Yeah.
At this point, why don't you show a couple other things? You want to show something?
Yeah, sure.
Now, that seems a good point to ask you about the competitions. So, when you do a competition, how much time do you have, and can you repeatedly start the yo-yo? How does all that work?
You do generally there's a preliminary round and there's a final round. The preliminary round is 1 minute, and you get one shot. Like, you can throw it more than once, but you don't. If you mess up, you don't get to restart. Like, you get one shot. And basically the criteria for that is just as long as the yo-yo stays on the string, because there are divisions where it's not connected to the string, which is actually one of the divisions I competed in at nationals. But yeah, so as long as it stays on the string, that's basically the criteria. You get judged on technicality, which is basically like if it's moving from string to string, you get points for each of those. There's different elements you can do.
Is that essentially difficulty?
Yeah, so there's also difficulty, originality, stuff like that. Your finals, there's a 2-minute freestyle generally. At nationals, it's 3 minutes, but you get judged on the stuff in preliminaries, and then also your performance is a bigger part in that. Like, if you're doing choreography with your music, if you're using the stage, like instead of just sitting in one spot yo-yoing, you are moving around, you're interacting.
Do you move around during these?
Yeah, I generally do.
So yeah. Speaking of originality, then, what percentage of your tricks are of your own devising, and what percent would be stuff that you saw somebody do and then you learned it?
Generally, when I make my tricks up, most of mine are all me. I do get inspiration from other players though, so I will see someone do something and then I will try and learn it, or I will make up something that is similar to it, and then I try to put my own twist on it. So I'd say around 80 to 90% are all me, including some of the stuff that I've made my own version of, but then I do occasionally use elements made by some other like national masters and pros and stuff that I see that just sort of fit in with what I'm already doing. So
now, you told me in our original interview that there was a different reaction among your peers at first than now. What was it at first?
At first, people thought it was really dorky, and they were just like, "Why are you still doing this?" Because they saw it like in 5th grade, and everybody liked it for 2 weeks. It was the thing, but then everybody was just like, I don't know why you're still keeping up with this. And now that I am way better, and also people are a lot more like mature and accepting of things, now that everybody's finding their own thing, people love it, so they just think it's really cool. And
now, you are now sponsored by an Australian company called Word, W-E-R-R-D, which is a yo-yo manufacturer. How did they find you?
I would assume that it was from videos from this year, because
YouTube videos.
Yeah, I've been doing, most yo-yoers put out their YouTube videos, and then also for contests, people film it, and then it gets uploaded to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And I have been doing pretty well this year, placing top 3 at most of the contests I competed in, and winning Ohio States as well as Wisconsin States. And so I assume that they just saw that, and people like referred me to them. But
and you said the owner of the company just called you up out of the blue. What does that mean to be sponsored now?
For me now, it means that normally I buy my own yo-yos, and yo-yos generally are anywhere from the yo-yos I have are generally anywhere from $50 to like $200, and so I don't do that anymore. They supply me the yo-yos. Whenever I need spare parts like bearings or string or something like that, they just send them to me. I don't have to buy those either.
Nice.
Also, they can help me with expenses to get to other places by either giving me money or giving me yo-yos to sell to get the money to go.
Nice.
So
and obviously then you're wearing their logo someplace.
Yeah, in exchange they just ask that I use their yo-yos exclusively on stage and in videos, and wear their shirt, which not a bad gig.
Not a bad gig for you. You're also starting to monetize this, you formed your own company, your own entertainment company?
Yeah, me and my dad actually started my own business that is actually starting to pick up a little bit with called Yo Man Entertainment. It's just kind of the name we thought up, and basically
to entertain at events and parties,
yeah,
right?
parties or schools or
the way you might hire a magician or something.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. I have like options, stuff like 30-minute shows, hour shows. There's different options for each of those and whatever. But
And
we're
you've
keeping
got
it.
some gigs coming.
We're keeping it flexible. I have 2 calls as of right now, but yeah, so it just started, so
Yeah,
feel
nice.
pretty good about it.
And finally, before we kind of let you do your grand finale, you also see professional opportunities in this sport, right?
Yeah, I do. There's definitely professional opportunities. Not everybody can get those just because it's like, you know, it's kind of limited. You have to be like going right for something, like in college or something. But there's marketing opportunities. I have friends who, like my friend Augie Fash works for Duncan Yo-Yos, and he goes around and does shows, and he also like goes to contests and runs their booth, like selling their yo-yos, and he just works for the company, and so that's something
you'd like to do at some point, right?
That would be awesome. I just
yeah. And we're gonna let you do a grand finale, but I'm interested in just one final question. That is this just something you're doing, or are yo-yos a growing sport, like BMX bikes became and scooters became and things like that?
I definitely think it's growing. It's obviously not on that big of a scale yet because it's still pretty small, but from where it was 2 years ago, or even like 5 years ago or anything, like the rate, there's so many more people coming every year to the sport, and also the rate of how many people coming to the sport is growing. So I feel that after a while, I'm not sure how long, but it's going to get to the point where...
And it's young people driving this, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's generally, like, the people who own the companies and stuff are generally, like, 20 to 40, and then, like, the professionals and stuff, or the marketers are, like, 20s and 30s, and then, like, the more, like, up-and-coming players around the nations are in their, like, late teens, early 20s. So, yeah, it's, like, starting to...
And you're on the younger end of
yeah,
that whole thing.
there's also, like, younger kids who are... Basically, when people start competing, they're around ages 10 to 13. That's when they start competing. And then once they start competing, generally it drives them because they see what they need to do and they meet other people. One of the things I like about the yo-yoing community is there's no hierarchy. Everybody helps everybody. Everybody cheers for everybody. So when people go to contests and they're like trying to figure stuff out, pros will actually sit with you and help you.
You mentioned too, your best friends are competitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody. I mean, obviously, there's like a little competition in there. Like if somebody's on stage and they're a close skill level with you, you're like, oh, I hope they don't beat me. But it's not like you're still cheering them on and stuff. It's it's pretty cool.
Them. Well, why don't you take center stage and go out with a flourish here.
All right, sounds good.
Pretty amazing.
Thanks.
Pretty amazing. Nehemiah Peterson, thanks a lot for being on Money Talks. Good luck with the sponsorship, the company, and maybe becoming a pro someday.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching.